2 years ago, the American Legion prevailed in one of the most important First Amendment cases in Supreme history. Thanks to our friends at the First Liberty Institute, veterans can enjoy their First Amendment freedom as they memorialize their fallen comrades. The award that they are about to present is named in honor of our dearly departed friend, the American Legion's longtime national judge advocate, Philip Onderdonk. With us today to present that award is a brilliant legal mind and the president and CEO of First Liberty Institute, Kelly Shackelford.
You know, as I stand here, I think back, it was almost 20 years ago that we realized that something was happening in the country, that there were attacks on some of our monuments around the country. First, it was the Ten Commandments and different things, and we realized, you know what? There are going to be attacks on our veterans memorials. This is just a sign of what's coming. And so we reached out and we said, let's call the American Legion, because I can't think of anybody who would be more committed to making sure that those monuments are never disturbed. So we called, and we got a man by the name of Philip B. Onderdonk Jr., the National Judge Advocate. And we told him what we thought was coming. And he agreed, and he said, you know what? We'll allow you to represent the American Legion and begin filing briefs in the Supreme Court and other courts, because we can't allow this to happen to our memorials and our monuments that are honoring those who have given all. And so that started a process, and before we knew it, we were in court defending the Pledge of Allegiance with the American Legion, and we won that case. And then we were defending "In God We Trust," our national motto, with the American Legion, and we won that case. And then the memorials did come under attack. And so we had the memorial in Mount Soledad. If you've never been there, I highly encourage you to go and see that incredible memorial. It is outside of San Diego in La Jolla. And it was under attack. But what happened at the end of that lawsuit, that memorial, if you go today, is still standing. And you can still see that memorial. And then we were in the Mojave Desert having to defend that memorial that was put up in 1934 by World War I veterans who just wanted to put something to remember those who were lost in that war. We went all the way to the Supreme Court in that case, and we won a victory, and that memorial is still standing. But that victory was on technical issues, and so the issue was still out there. And so 2 years ago, we went to the Supreme Court representing the American Legion in defending the Bladensburg Cross. The Bladensburg Cross was a cross that was put up almost 100 years ago by the American Legion and by mothers who lost their sons in World War I. And it was originally on American Legion land. But eventually, it was outside of D.C. The government built roads around that, and they took over the land for its safety and protection, but they didn't want to disturb the memorial. And then years later, the American Humanist Association came along and filed a lawsuit and said, you can't have this monument on government land. And at the Federal Court of Appeals, one of the judges said, why don't we just cut the arms off the cross? That way nobody will be offended and we won't have to tear it down. We realized we were going to have some trouble. And so they ruled 2-1 that after 100 years, this memorial was going to be declared unconstitutional. So we went to the Supreme Court. And the result of that, and I think we have maybe even pictures of that, the result of that is that we had a victory at the United States Supreme Court. And that victory, and it'll always read the way if you look in the law books, it's the case of the American Legion versus the American Humanist Association. And out next to it, it says, win, American Legion. And that not only was a win for that Bladensburg Cross, that set a brand new precedent. It's really a landmark victory that all memorials and monuments across our land are now presumptively constitutional, and these attacks are over. That's a huge change. But unfortunately, that's not the end of the battle, because we have lots of other cases that we're having to defend that the American Legion is right behind us with. And that is probably one of the most well-known, is a case we have right now with the Northeast POW MIA network, where they have put up a missing man table, like we saw last night at the banquet, a round table with all kinds of symbolism, the rose that's red for the blood that is spilled, the empty chair representing this person who's not there, the glass tipped upside down because they won't be there to drink it. This missing man table, which is around the country because of the network, one of them was put up in the VA hospital in New Hampshire. And including, and I think we have a picture of this, you see it, in that you see a little case with a Bible. And that's because many of the missing man tables have a Bible to represent something greater than themselves. And in this case, this was donated. If you could look closely at the picture, you could see it says Herc on top of the case. The man who donated this Bible was in a German prisoner of war camp for almost a year. And he said that the Bible was what got him through that experience. And so he wanted to donate his Bible for this display about the missing man table. And unfortunately, Herc just passed away recently in the middle of our lawsuit. But what happened is some radicals have filed a lawsuit to say, we want this table taken down, we want this Bible removed. The VA is standing its ground right now, as they should, and we are in that lawsuit representing the Northeast POW MIA network, and we're going to keep fighting this case until at the end we win. But these are the battles that are still coming at us as we speak. And I would say to you, if you are not already getting the information or want information, you can go at any time, just spell out the words firstliberty.org. It'll have the list of all the military cases, all the different things that are going on, the wins, the ones that are in progress, and you can follow that. And you can even get an email every week as to what's going on. So feel free to go there and get the information. But this POW MIA case, among many others we have right now, is just a reminder that this battle is not over. And so every year, we're so proud to be with the American Legion and to give out a very special award to somebody or some group that is standing for God and country, which is what the American Legion is all about, and standing for our religious freedoms to make a difference. And we named this award after Philip B. Onderdonk Jr., who is, of course, the great national judge advocate that we talked to almost 20 years ago. And so I think it's the greatest award anybody could ever receive, not just because of what it means, but because of what they actually get. One of the coolest rifles you'll ever see. And so watch this video, and then at the end, I'm going to announce who gets the award this year.
Since our nation's founding, America's veterans have built monuments and memorials to honor our service members. But today, there's a coordinated effort to tear these memorials down. Together, First Liberty Institute and the American Legion are leading the fight to keep them standing. For example, when the Mount Soledad Veterans Memorial came under fire, we were there to protect it. When the Mojave Desert Veterans Memorial was attacked, we were there to fight for it. When the Bladensburg Peace Cross was threatened, we were there and won a Supreme Court victory that changes how judges will regard similar cases in the future. When the national motto and the pledge were challenged over "In God We Trust" and "Under God," we were there so our children and grandchildren would be able to continue these time-honored traditions. Freedom, especially religious freedom, has a great champion in the American Legion. So every year, First Liberty Institute honors a champion of freedom with the Philip B. Onderdonk Jr. Religious Liberty Award. Some give trophies. First Liberty gives a rifle. Ever since the Civil War, veterans demonstrating the highest dedication to duty have been presented with an engraved Henry repeating rifle. This fully functional firearm is a special military tribute edition made with fine walnut with an adjustable sight and a 20-inch octagonal barrel. The highly polished receiver features a 24-karat gold bald eagle bearing a shield in recognition of service to our great country. The other side depicts the iconic Statue of Liberty and Liberty Bell, enduring reminders that America is a beacon of freedom for the world and for our citizens. On the forearm, a flowing banner and shield proudly salute our military heroes. The stock is laser etched with the Onderdonk Award emblem, uniquely commemorating a champion of our religious freedom. You know, there's nothing more American than a Henry repeating rifle. And there's no greater champion of religious freedom than this year's recipient of the Philip B. Onderdonk Jr. Religious Liberty Award. First Liberty salutes your dedication to duty in the service of freedom.
We cannot thank Henry enough for donating this rifle every year because they believe in the American Legion and these freedoms that our country was built upon. So we want to thank Henry. Announcing this year's award winner in 2021 of the Philip B. Onderdonk Jr. Award is the Northeast POW MIA Network for their fight for that missing man table that they're still in the middle of. So I think David Ricketts is coming to accept the award.
Thank you, American Legion, First Liberty, Roger, Kelly, Mike, and Hiram, for all the help you've done with the Northeast POW MIA Network. I'd like to give a shout out to our Legion posts that helped with the table, the Manchester, VA, the North Conway Post 95 in New Hampshire, and Bob Jones, Bruce Gary, Paul Martin, chose me to come and receive the award for them today. Bob Jones started the Northeast POW MIA Network, not only in Meredith, New Hampshire, but also from Post 49 in Fairhaven, Vermont, 34 years ago. The 24th of August was Bob and Paula's 53rd anniversary. They started on the evening of their 19th anniversary in Meredith, New Hampshire, where it is called The Rock. And the table at the Manchester VA is a symbol of what we will stand for forever, until all our POWs and MIAs are returned home safely. Thank you, and God bless.